What's going on again, guys? It's El Brujo Urbano, or the Urban Witch, again with Two Hand Sorcery. And on today's video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to teach you guys from my very own grimoire, yes, from my own recipes, something that I believe every witch should, or person who isn't a witch but likes to be, spiritually protected and, all that sort of deal. I believe this is very important to have in your arsenal. This is from my own library. This is Black Destroyer Oil, or aceite tumba trabajos. It's called a Black Destroyer Oil because the purpose of this oil is to, it says here right in my book, to stop. It is used for stopping in their tracks hexes, jinxes, curses, hatred, resentments, envy, evil intentions towards you, your family and friends, home, and to help people in serious situations, and from protection from evil and negative energies and actions, and to defend from it. So what you are going to need is a minimum of 10 ingredients. I'm going to list a few, and even going to list the ones that I use in my own recipe. You don't have to use every single one, but you do need to use 10 minimum. Okay? So, and if you don't have any of these, it's okay to use alternatives. The alternatives, as long as they have, protective and defensive qualities and exercising and banishing qualities. I'm sorry, not qualities, properties. I'm so sorry. So these are just some, to name a few. So olive oil, sweet basil, garlic, sea salt, black pepper, red pepper, powdered charcoal, cayenne powder, high john root, tobacco, nails, graveyard dirt, hot foot powder, copal, myrrh, and frankincense. Alright, so the ones that I used, right, is olive oil, charcoal, myrrh, copal, graveyard dirt, 3 nails, tobacco, hot foot powder. I used hot foot powder, to get it the hell out of here, to banish it to hell. Red chili flakes, cayenne powder, rue, rosemary, angelica root, basil, hyssop, St. Cyprian oil, and 7 churches holy water. Oh, yeah, did I put that one? Yes, I think I mentioned high john root. Okay, so the way that I do this, I obviously, the dries, the herbs and all that, I mix them all together, I crush them up real nice. This is only for the individual herbs. The ones that you have pre-made in our pre-mixture, like for example, the hot foot powder, you want to wait till later. Alright, so you grab the individual ones like charcoal, myrrh, graveyard dirt, tobacco, the peppers, rosemary, angelica root, all that, you mix it all together and you crush it up together, right? And when you're mixing them, you're focusing your intention. So that work, that energy that you're putting into crushing them and mixing them, while you're focusing your intention, is basically imbuing them with that protective, defensive, and banishing properties that you want them to have. They are naturally already full of that energy, but this is like, in a way, like connecting your intention with their energy and kind of like giving them a purpose, so to speak. So you do that, right? You crush up all the dries, you mix them up nice and good, and then you put them in one of these. Well, I have one of these. You could put them in a different jar, it doesn't really matter. But since this is an oil, I like to have them in these. It's a nice measurement. I don't remember how much milliliters this was, but I think you could get these off Amazon, Etsy, or maybe even Temu. Temu for like super cheap. You get like a bunch of these. So you put a little bit of the dries inside, right? And then that's when you put the wet, the liquids, right? The oil, the little, since water and oil obviously doesn't mix well, you want to reserve the 7 churches holy water, like a couple drops. That's it, like 3, 4, 5 drops. That's about it. Since obviously it's not big of size, I have a bigger one in my closet. But yeah, so you mix that in real well, right? Give it a good shake. You give it a good shake while you're focusing your intentions on this jar, right? And then I wrote as well that I will petition on a Saturday, since Saturdays are perfect for banishing and protections, and it's also the day of St. Cyprian. And as you guys already know, St. Cyprian is the patron saint of my work. So obviously most of the things that I do is dedicated to St. Cyprian and work with St. Cyprian, as you can see right here in my ring. So you grab it, you do all this, right? And then you wait till Saturday, or you do it on a Saturday, and you pray to Saint Cyprian. You do a call to Saint Cyprian, right? And you include a petition to him. And in this petition, you obviously you read this that I have here in my book. You know, may this be used to stopping in their tracks, hexes, jinxes, curses, hatred, resentments, envy, evil intentions towards you, your family and friends, home, and to help people in serious situations, and from protection from negative evil energies and actions, and to defend from it. You know, cast protection against any and all sorceries and witches of the night, against enemies visible and invisible. Feel free to add anything you want, okay? Anything that has to do with protection and defense, and anything that has to do with defending your loved ones, your home, anything. Petition Saint Cyprian. Ask him. Tell him what you want this to do. Tell him what the purpose of this is. Okay? So after you do that, you do want to follow up with a set of protective prayers. Okay? So the set of protective prayers could be anyone that you already know. And if you do not know, you obviously, you don't have to take my word for it. You can Google anyone that you want. If you have any other witch groups, feel free to ask. Saint Cyprian is known to work with both Christian and pagan deities and beings and entities, so don't be afraid to modify it a little bit and ask Saint Cyprian to like bless it with, like, I don't know, for example, I don't know, you work with Hecate, you know, don't be afraid to like ask and like petition both of them. Like, this is the whole purpose of this is to destroy any and all sorceries. So whatever gets that done, you do that. Okay, I obviously, like, you know, one of the most famous and well-known protective prayers is Psalm 91. You could do Psalm 91. Psalm 91 is brilliant. It's fantastic. I mean, you can even I like to do sometimes grab certain verses from Psalm 109, which is pretty hardcore, and use certain verses of that psalm and give the intention that it's meant towards my enemies, you know, to those who want to harm, X and X verse, so on and so forth. You do want to follow up, of course, with another protective defensive prayer when petitioning St. Cyprian, and you do want to follow up with a Our Father and Hail Marys. You could do one and one Our Father, one Hail Mary, or one Our Father and 3 Hail Marys. I did the latter. I prefer it. I like it more. And after that, you cross yourself and you cross, you know, your jar, you know, 3 times, and you say, "So mote it be," or "So shall it be," or "And so it is done. Amen." And then, if you have an altar to Saint Cyprian, leave it there overnight. If you have another altar with whoever you work with, preferably leave it there overnight, and by the next morning it should be ready to use. And then after this, you can anoint candles, sigils. When you take a bath, you can do a couple drops on them, not a lot. Okay, and that's basically it. This is a black destroy oil. It's relatively simple to make, and it's very, very, very powerful. If you don't believe me, make it, do a cleansing for yourself. I really do hope you guys enjoyed that brief video of how to make a black destroyer oil. I really think that for both beginners and advanced witches, it is very fundamental to have your protection and have good protections, be it ward oils, smoke cleansing, whichever cleansing you choose. I think it's very important. And if you do want to initiate yourself into the craft, I highly recommend that you start with